Homesteaders is a game for 3 to 4 players and takes about 60 to 90 minutes to play. The goal of the game is to earn the most victory points, mostly through the use of buildings, which are built by players over the course of 10 rounds. At the beginning of each round, players set their workers in their buildings to gain goods, money, or trade tokens, which can be used at any time during the game to trade at the market. Then an auction phase happens, where players bid on certain buildings by category. The buildings can also give instant rewards. Every player gets something during the auction phase, as players have the option of taking something from the railroad development track. After the auction phase, players must build at that time if they won an auction, and whoever won auction 1 becomes the new first player. As the rounds progress, newer and better buildings become available, and at the end there is a final income phase and scoring round.
Homesteaders by Alex Rockwell.
So this is pretty much an auction game.
Auction game for 3 to 4 players.
And you build buildings too and try to get victory points. Pretty standard Euro game, but the thing that I think saves it is the theme.
The cowboy meeples.
The cow meeples are good.
Oh, there's also cow meeples. Yeah, there's cowboy meeples and cow meeples. That's right. They're very cute.
They're painted cows.
Yeah. It lasts 10 rounds, right?
10 rounds, yeah, and it's pretty quick.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing, you could get it done in an hour.
You could probably do it in an hour, yeah. It says 90 minutes, but...
And it's not bad. A lot of games like this, they feel as though there's 10 things you want to do and they let you do 1. Whereas this one, it's like there's 5 things you want to do and they let you do 4. And it's like there's always something that you can't do, but I never feel so frustrated that a lot of games like this are just more frustration than fun for me.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you're just constantly wanting to do stuff that you can't. Whereas this one, even on a turn, if you don't get to buy a building or build something, there's still something of value that you can do, which is nice.
Yeah, there's enough auctions for everyone except for one person to win, and then that person gets to go along on the railroad track.
And sometimes on the railroad track, they'll get to do what they were hoping to do in the turn anyway. They're bidding for a building that would give them a man, and they can move the thing ahead and get a man anyway. So, yeah.
Or like last time I played, one guy just figured out there's nothing I can do at all, but then we told him, well, you can sell an apple, and then you can get 2 woods, and then you can buy a building with that.
You more than likely won't be able to build a building every turn. You're not going to win every auction, every round.
And you kind of want to save up for the big buildings at the...
Yeah.
The last 2 rounds has the really big city buildings.
Yeah. Yeah, and you want to have collected
which are game winners.
Yeah, you want to have collected some resources in order to... And the nice thing too with debt, being able to take debt, is if you end up in a round bidding for something that you really can't afford, then you can just take on debt, which can be detrimental, but it gives you that ability to do something if you've miscalculated, which is really nice. And it's not that bad having 1 or 2 debt tokens.
The big buildings at the end are kind of game winners.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I played the other day, I kind of had a brain fart and I was bidding to build a certain kind of building, and then I lost out on one, and then I just went to the railroad track, and then I didn't even realize that I could have gone into another auction and got the same building.
Right.
And that cost me the game because
someone
else bought the building I was going to get, which gave them like 14 points.
Right.
And then that was totally the difference.
Yeah.
What do you think about the replayability?
Huge, because no 2 games are ever going to be the same. It all depends on the people you're playing with and what route you choose to go. Usually the first auction you win will help determine where you're going to go throughout the game, but sometimes you'll fail to win a particular auction that you really wanted, and that'll force you to alter your direction for the rest of the game as well. And it's flexible enough that you can do that. It's not like you lock yourself into one particular path, and then if it doesn't work out, you're screwed, which is really nice.
Yeah, I kind of think that takes away from the replayability a bit, because
Really?
It's kind of loosey-goosey.
Huh.
You can play really casually.
But you could also try to maximize. Takes away, you think? Eh?
Kind of, because you can just basically go for those big buildings at the end.
Yeah, but you don't have to do that though. You could have a strategy where you see, well, what happens if I just go after railroad tracks and produce as much stuff as I can that way, or. I don't know. I think you'd want it to be. Yeah, you want it to be fairly loose so that you can have all these different approaches. But like a lot of other, I keep saying that, like a lot of other games like this one doesn't feel as wide open and as confusing to me as a lot of the other ones.
But yeah, I think maybe that's what makes a lot of the other games so popular.
Right, which is why I like this one. And
the real
the
brain burners. Like this is so light.
Yeah, I don't know.
But then Stone Age is really light, and that's really popular.
Yeah. Yeah, Stone Age is a good example of a similar kind of a thing where you have specific things you can go after, but your game strategy could change halfway through, and you're not totally lost if you decide to do that. Whereas in something like Colosseum, say, if you're going for one particular thing and then halfway through something happens, you can't do it. There's no way you're going to catch up. You've committed to one particular strain, and then something happens, you just can't do it. You're kind of left in the dust.
Yeah, and you get better the more you play. Whereas a game like this, anyone can win just picking it up.
Well, until you've played it enough that you are, you have a better idea of specific strategies that you can take. But even I agree with you.
I don't think there's really that many strategies.
In this one?
Save up, buy a building. Save up, buy a building.
Yeah, but which building and how much are you willing to pay?
I don't think
for
they
the
really.
auctions?
It's not like Puerto Rico where the buildings complement each other. It's. I don't think they really.
They can a little bit in this, but it's also not that strict.
Yeah.
Which again I like.
Yeah, it makes it more casual.
Like it only takes an hour and a half, right? Whereas the more I find, you're not going to be as prone to analysis paralysis, I think, in this one.
No, it's nice and fast.
Yeah. You always have a general idea of what you want to do. It's not like you have a million choices to make every round. But there are enough choices to keep it interesting.